What's happening, everybody? This is Can I Get More Podcasts in my monitor. I am Johnny Ruckus. I hope all is well today. Today I'm sharing my conversation with Wayne Wiginton of the band Saint Tragedy. We cover his earliest memories of music, his start in music, where the band began, and what's next. We also talk about our shared love of pro wrestling, and in the process, I completely date myself. So with further ado, or no further ado, I should say, here's Wayne Wiginton. Enjoy.
I couldn't tell you how I
feel. Did your parents listen to a lot of music, or how did you get interested in music?
Pretty much growing up, my mom, she always used to listen to like a lot of oldies music, and like every time in the car, she'd always be blaring the radio, and I'd be in the back seat learning the songs, singing along to them, and over time it just became a thing. And she's just like, I was like 3 years old. She'd have her friends in the car, and like, how does he know all the words of these songs? Like, well, he's just always in here, just listening to the music with me. So just from there, it just kind of took off. I don't know.
Any favorites that have carried over from that? Like, is there like one group or something that you'd be listening to and then was like, you know what? Eventually whenever you started doing music, like, I could do that. I want to do that. Was there any groups like that? I'd
say Creedence and like Temptations and bands like that. Really. I've always been like a soulful kind of musician, so that's kind of where I get it from.
Oh, no kidding. Okay. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. And then did you start playing, because I know you play guitar, and then did you start playing guitar before you started singing, or you just were always singing and then guitar came?
Pretty much. Yeah, I was basically singing from that young age, and then I picked up the guitar, I want to say like 12 years ago, maybe.
Okay.
So about 2007, 2008, I was kind of getting into the realm of things. Okay.
Was it I guess the older music that you grew up on that inspired you to pick up the guitar, or were there like a little bit more contemporary artists, or what do you think?
Honestly, around that time, I was kind of into like the whole like Tenacious D, like Jack Black kind of vibe. Like I was really big on like School of Rock and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I have a feeling that Jack Black kind of was the one to really inspire me, because he made it look so fun and exciting. And I was like, I kind of want to do that.
That's awesome.
So that's my story on that.
That's awesome. Yeah, I remember. They had the Pick of Destiny that came out, but they had a.
I love that movie.
Yeah, they had. Did you ever see the TV show they had on HBO? Like, it was like early 2000s, I think.
I've seen little bits of it. I didn't really get into it much, but I do know of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching that show. It was like late 90s, early 2000s, somewhere in there. And I remember watching a show, and I was a fan of the show. It was fucking hilarious. And then,
dude, those guys are so great. Like the stuff that they do. I mean,
yeah. And then they came out with the full band album, and just that ridiculous video with Wonder Boy. That was the first one. It's fucking ridiculous video. It was just hilarious, but it was completely lined up with what they were about for sure.
Their whole like Pick a Destiny soundtrack was just phenomenal. I love everybody. I've seen that movie literally probably over 200 times.
Oh geez. All right. I got to catch up. I've seen it more than a few times, but I got to catch up for sure.
I used to be able to sit there and just quote the whole movie. I mean, it was great. I probably still could damn near to this point.
That's like me and the Big Lebowski.
Everyone has that movie that they can just quote the whole thing,
Yeah, no doubt. I was talking about that with my brother-in-law. Actually, we went out to breakfast early this morning. He doesn't know. I keep telling him to watch Big Lebowski, but he's a fucking slacker. So I was like, years ago, like on Twitter, I had like Me and 3 pro wrestlers. We were going back around in a circle for like 2 days doing like Big Lebowski quotes. So that's where my life was at, like whenever that was 7, 8, 10 years ago, whatever the fuck.
It's pretty funny.
Okay, so for those who, well, if you're listening or watching this, you know who Wayne is. He's the lead singer and rhythm guitar player in Saint Tragedy. Was Saint Tragedy your first band, or did you have bands prior to that?
No, actually, when I kind of picked up the guitar in around 2008, that's kind of when I started forming the band.
Oh, no kidding.
So
okay.
Pretty much I live and breathe what I've created for the last 12 years.
Okay. Okay. So Saint Tragedy is kind of your brainchild.
Yeah. Any members that we've had or that have came and went, they've always said, that's been your baby. Like,
yeah,
that's Wayne's thing.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, like, I'm a introvert, and I don't talk to many people. So this is like this is a way for me to, we played shows together, but obviously in that that way you don't really get to like know people. You just, hi, I like you, right. Kind of thing. So this is neat to this, for me anyways, this is neat to like be able to,
for sure, yeah,
to learn.
And I've always wanted to reconnect with you, especially we got to know each other in that short time.
Yeah.
Literally that month of February. And then I was like, yeah, dude, we got to do some stuff together. And then things happened obviously. And
yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah, here we are. Yeah, it's taken a bit, but yeah, no, this is definitely cool. Well, so, okay, Saint Tragedy. So that's been, did you kind of learn to play guitar and then started the band, more or less?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm still learning guitar. So, 12 years later, everyone's always learning, Yeah. But like, when I picked it up, I'd say I kind of was fiddling around with it, trying to learn some stuff. Started, writing songs, which we still do play a couple songs that I kind of first wrote way back when.
Oh, no kidding.
Which is kind of cool. It's kind of cool to tell the audience, this is one of the first songs I wrote, and da-da-da-da. And it's like, they're probably thinking it's probably going to sound like garbage, but I mean, over the years, we've kind of like revamped old songs. So like they sound fresh, and you're like, damn, I didn't know a song that was so basic can be so not basic anymore.
Yeah, you start, everybody gets their hands on it. Your guys get their hands on it, and they, how about this? How about that? And we try it, and it sounds cool. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah.
And with our lead guitar player, Randy, like he's just phenomenal. Like even with improv, like he's so good with improv. Like if you're laying down a riff, he just jumps in, and I'm like, oh, dude, like do that. And he's like, I don't know what I did. What did I do? Like, guess we should have been recording the whole time.
Just press record on the whole session. Something will be happening.
Dude, he gets some tasty stuff in there. Like, and we'll record some stuff and we'll play it back. I'm like, you need to do that in the actual recording, because that was wild. Like,
that's the that's some of the best stuff, is where you're just you're fucking off. Hey, I got this riff, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what to do next. And all of a sudden something happens and you're like, oh, there it is. And then, wait, what was that? You got to try to figure it out.
Like one day we're at rehearsal, and like we kind of, wrapped it up, and I'm sitting there fiddling on guitar, and Randy's sitting there, and I just started playing this riff and like started singing along to it. And that actually became Bottle Up the Truth. Which is our latest single. I don't know if you've seen our video for it.
Yes, I love that fucking song. I really fucking do.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was just kind of cool how I one day was just fiddling around on that, and all of a sudden it just became a thing, and we're like, now it's our single,
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, when 215, when we played with you and leading up to that whole thing, we didn't really have that opportunity to do that, just because our time frame was like we started playing shows in February, like you talked about, but our time frame from writing a new album and bringing 2 new guys in was 6 months. So we didn't have time to like sit and kind of fuck off and then like come up with stuff.
Yeah.
I'm a psycho and I demo everything. Like I'll demo a complete song.
I mean,
yeah.
It'll get you some masterpieces and you won't even know it, you know?
So it's like, that's, you know, and that's what I did, but then that also made it so we could do all that stuff in that short period of time. But yeah, it would have been really neat to be able to sit down and kind of like, oh, I got this, you know, how you came up with the song. It feels weird, but I haven't done that in years. And it's just kind of how time has shook out, you know? So it's
right.
I do miss that.
I mean, yeah, I mean, and you're a great guitar player, you know, like in the time we spent together, like, I mean, we did basically back-to-back shows.
Yeah.
Like, well, at least like the band did, and then I did that solo thing with you guys at the back bar, which that was a really cool night. Yeah. So, I mean, those are little things I'll never forget. You know, it's like as big as a band you might become, you got to remember where you came from.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And like, I feel like some people kind of take that for granted, you know, but then there are really great, you know, down to earth musicians out there that'll have made it, and they'll tell you like, you know, yeah, I know where you came from, and that's where I came from. And you kind of got to stick to your roots, you know? Yeah,
absolutely. No doubt. Yeah. It's, I think it can be kind of easy to get away from that. You know, if you become busier and your focus goes from, you know, over here to over here. Yeah. It's, I catch that even like, trying to balance, you know, I don't have children, but like I have, I have my wife and my cats, and then I have the podcast.
They're still children, you know?
Yeah. Jeez, they are a pain in the fucking ass sometimes. But yeah, I got the podcast then, and then I got music. So there's a lot of times where I'll get really in on, you know, if I got to edit a bunch of podcasts or something like that, I'm there for like, that's like all my day. But it's just, I don't even, and then it's like, oh yeah, that's right. I have a wife that probably like would like to hang out with me. And then, oh yeah, I haven't played guitar in like 2 weeks, you know? So it's like, even just the small stuff.
That's gotta be rough though, man. Not picking up a guitar for 2 weeks.
Oh, I try not to, but then it's like, oh wait, when did I play that thing last? Oh fuck. You know, and then it's like, okay, I gotta try.
Like with me, it's like I'm working between 2 jobs. I work over 50 hours a week. And then, you know, we try to squeeze in rehearsal on a Saturday afternoon. And then it's like my only downtime is like a Sunday. And then you still want to pick up your own guitar and do stuff. So you're like, you know.
Yeah, it's like a little sanity kind of thing where even if you don't do anything like productive, you know, quote unquote, you still have that time where it's just like a break from, you know, whatever, you know, your craziness at work or whatever happens. Yeah.
And for me, like, I know for anybody who does, you know, who works and does their music, they'll always say that music will be your stress reliever.
Yeah.
You know, and I firmly believe that, like, you know, you might be going insane throughout the week and you're like, man, I'm just looking forward to getting to rehearsal and just letting it out, man. Like, and that's what we do. You know, we all show up, we all work, we get there and we're like, we have some drinks and we're like, dude, let's just unwind. Let's write a song. Let's do something, you know?
No, that's fantastic. Yeah. That's fucking great. And, you know, yeah, that's all it is. And you get together with people that you care about. 'Cause, you know, as you know, a being in a band is like being married to, you know, 4 other people, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know,
it honestly is, you know, I mean, and it's like, we have a group chat together on Facebook. So we're always throwing out different ideas or if we've got shows going on or whatever.
Yeah.
So like we're always communicating throughout the week, and then we get together and we're like, let's do it. Remember that stuff we were talking about the other day? Prove it.
Yeah. Let's fucking do this, man.
Yeah. I mean, you know, and then sometimes like when you're saying so much stuff to 3 other guys in a group chat, things will get lost in the chat.
Yeah.
So they're like, wait, when did you say that? And then they'll sit there scrolling up. Like, it was like 3 days ago. And you're like, dude, I ain't going to find
that. Yeah, we had that too. And it was like, there'd be, even if you took like, let's say you didn't, you know, you're busy, you're doing something and you miss it for even a couple hours, all of a sudden you look at it and there's like 40 messages and you're just like, oh, fuck these people.
and then the funny thing is you'll see that and you'll go into it and you'll just see a bunch of GIFs or a bunch of memes. Yeah. You're like, you guys aren't even talking about anything serious at all. It's just a bunch of crap. Like, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, it always devolves. Why is there all of a sudden dicks? What is going on here?
Yeah, right. Just something completely out of the, like, okay, I know who I'm dealing with here.
Yeah, there's a special people there.
My guys are raunchy enough as it is, so you know what to expect when you're looking at your messages.
Yep. Yeah. You're gonna see some fucked up shit. But the thing is you're gonna laugh too. So what does that say about you?
And like if I'm at work and I just look at whatever on there, it'll give me a laugh throughout my day at least. Like, yeah. And then sometimes I'll be because I drive forklift for a living. Okay. So like I'll be driving down the dock on my lift and I'm just laughing to myself and people are just kind of looking at me like, what is going on? Like, you don't want to know.
Just leave it. Just leave it alone.
It's one of those like inside joke things. You're just like, you had to be there. And we all have those moments. So
absolutely.
Like, dude, he's like crying, laughing over here right now. What's going on? Like, just leave him be. Leave him be.
It's just Wayne. It's just Wayne. Okay, relax.
Yeah. he didn't show up high or drunk, I swear.
Yep. He's just him. So just relax.
As much of a relaxer as all those things might be.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He's still going.
No, it's funny. All right, I see in my window, you can't see it, but I see you got a Shine Down shirt. There's oh yeah. I would say there's probably influence in there. You can some of the stuff.
There's actually behind me there. Let me see if I can get. There's a Shine Down bandana. I can.
Oh, okay.
My camera works here.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, I can see it. Is that an Ibanez behind you there too?
That's an Ibanez, and then I got my LTD acoustic over here.
Oh yeah, very.
And then
nice.
I got a couple other guitars at the rehearsal spot.
Sure.
I got another blue acoustic LTD somewhere hiding around the house. Haven't hung it up yet.
Oh yeah, there you go. You got to have them. I have a real small house, so it's hard to strategically place guitars. But I tried to do that in the living room. It just kind of takes up more room, but it is what it is. I got this area here.
I just recently like reorganized my living room, so I kind of have this big open area now.
Oh yeah.
So I was almost contemplating the idea of having like rehearsal in this spot because it's pretty roomy and it's pretty comfortable. And I got my piano over here too.
Oh okay.
So, which I'm still kind of learning as I go, but
I have a real shitty one of them Casio things, that'll play a thing, but I can't. I can do simple stuff, but making my right and left hand do different shit, it won't do it. I don't know, man.
I'm at the starting point of where I can do whatever with my left hand, and then on the right hand I'm doing the one or two notes.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I've wrote like something on there, and like over time, like I got a buddy. He's in a band called Mixed Company out of Kenosha. I don't know if you ever heard of them.
Yeah.
But he plays bass and piano in the band, so like he's kind of he'll come over sometimes and show me some stuff. And we actually wrote a song called Butterflies, and he did the piano work on that. So we're actually shooting a video for that, and we're almost done with all the shooting. So we're hoping to have the video out, I'd say by the end of the year.
Cool.
Hopefully December.
I was just you talking about the piano made me think of that, because I know there's like a little teaser-ish kind of thing on your the Saint Tragedy YouTube channel, and I can't remember if did you or the band, did you guys release the song or do like a kind of a live video, or was it just the teaser? I forget.
There's the studio teaser, and then there is a live acoustic on there from 1175 that we did.
Okay, I can't remember. I know I just watched the teaser and I was like, oh, that's like really good, you know.
Yeah,
for the
we have a guest vocalist by the name of Shelby Mixon. She's got her vocals on that, and she's actually phenomenal. So we're actually looking to hopefully do some more stuff with her in the future. So
okay, yeah, I heard. I don't know if I know that name, and I don't know if it's from the song or if I recognize it from somewhere else. I'm not positive. Does she have a band?
She does some stuff with Glenn Morrison, who's actually the singer in Mix Company. So I don't know if you might have seen something out of that, or
maybe because the name sounds familiar, and obviously I recognize the voice from your song, but then I do somewhere along the line I recognize that sounds familiar. What you just mentioned sounds familiar. I think there was like some maybe they did like a duo thing at some show, you know, and it was
they typically do a lot of duo things.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
bet
chances are it's something you ran into.
I bet that's what it's from. And yeah, she's definitely fantastic for sure.
Yeah. Everyone says she's got a voice of an angel, and I'm like, that's what we need on our stuff.
Yeah, and
it works.
Good.
Like it's like a pop rock kind of song, which typically you wouldn't think a hard rock band doing that, but it kind of fit us pretty nice.
Yeah.
So I mean,
yeah, I can buy you guys doing like having like a piano, you know, that seems to make sense, and I can totally hear it. So,
well, and I've always loved, like, especially in hard rock bands, like you listen to it, a song starts off with like a piano, then it gets heavy, and then there's that bridge where it just dies down again, and I'm like, I love that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's like really great writing, I'd say. Like, a lot of people do it now, but so it doesn't seem like it is like, oh, you're just copying these bands. But to me, that's always been a great way to write a song. Have it get heavy, have a nice little lighter peak, and then end it on a high note, you know?
Yeah. The November rain.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah, no kidding. So you guys have, let me think here. You guys recorded at Cherry Pit. Did you just record the last stuff, or have you recorded with Eric or at Cherry Pit previously to that?
Our last EP, Prolonging the Agony, was recorded there too. Yeah, at Cherry Pit Studios.
Okay.
So the EP that has No More Religion on it and all that fun stuff, that was all done there. No More Religion was actually our very first song we recorded there. It was just going to be a single. And then over time, we're like, you know what? Maybe we should just do like an EP. Like, we got the recording back, and we're like, this actually sounds pretty damn good. Like, why don't we do some more stuff?
Yeah.
So we're like, let's rack up the money and let's do it. You know?
Sure.
And everyone seems to be eating it up. I mean, as a local band, I'd say we've definitely seen some success. I mean, not to where we want to be, but if I was looking at this 12 years ago, I'd never imagine being where I'm at right now.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I was out of, kind of out of the scene, I guess. I mean, I live in the sticks, so I'm not super close to what's happening, but you know, you kind of keep your nose in there every now and again. But I was off doing other stuff. I was doing music, but not in a band. So, I hadn't heard of you guys until we were going to play with you, but I looked back, and then from, you know, I've been paying attention from then, you know, and obviously this year has been difficult for fucking everybody, but, you guys definitely have, there's stuff behind you, you know, you guys are working hard. I know you guys are just playing shows like mad, and I know even through this time you guys have played too. So is that weird playing shows now, or is it just kind of business as usual? Or
we like to try to treat it as business as usual. It's definitely hard getting a broader audience, obviously, with what's been going on this year. You know, a lot more people are, you know, some people are just kind of like, whatever, COVID's been around for a long time, I don't care anymore, I want to get out of the house.
Yeah.
Which I'm all fine with that. I'm at that same point myself.
Yeah.
And then you got other people that are really strict with it, and they don't want to be out anywhere, and they always got to have their mask on and whatever else. And that's fine too. I mean, but for us, it's like we're out here to do business. If you want to show up and support us, great. If you don't, well, then you're going to be waiting until next year to hopefully come see some live music.
No kidding. It's just the not knowing, I think, is the most painful,
Right.
Because we're, like,
and now we got this whole thing with the election, which I just seen Joe Biden took cake. So,
did they?
Yeah.
I didn't see if they called it yet or not. But all
yeah,
right.
he hit 273 on the electoral vote. So it looks like he's got it now.
That's it. Yeah. Wow. Well, all right. Breaking news. I don't know.
Breaking news. Our new president of the United States, Joe Biden.
Nice how you got real
Do you
close up
do you
there.
have one of those like applaud buttons?
Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Or boo.
Yeah, whatever.
To teach their own.
Yeah, teach their own. Yeah, no shit, right? I try. Yeah, I don't. And I know that we're just kind of talking shit, so it's not like we're gonna get into anything crazy like that. But yeah, everybody else can be crazy.
I'm so on the non-political side. Like anyone that tries to bring it up, I'm like, dude, I really don't care. I mean, as long as I can live my life and do what I need to do, it is what it is.
Yeah. Play music, take care of your family. That's boom.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Like if somebody was against that, then yeah, we'd probably have a problem.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no kidding, right?
Until then, we're going to keep going.
Yeah, that's right. Listen to Wayne, damn it. Did you guys have...
So you've been...
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. I was going to ask you if you guys had a bunch of stuff that you had to cancel this year, or was it kind of a light year or so, or what?
It's definitely been a light year for sure. I mean, we haven't even played probably a quarter of worth of shows what we normally would.
Yeah.
So I mean, and we're supposed to have a show on the 21st out in Illinois, but they're on a lockdown right now. So I have a feeling that's not even going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was planning on that to be like our last show of the year kind of thing, because we're going back in the studio the day after that to wrap up this EP.
Okay.
And then we're hoping for an EP release, hopefully around like Valentine's Day. So
okay,
you heard it here.
Awesome. Oh, that's fucking awesome. Yeah, because you guys, I talked to Corey Schmidt, at 3 Left, and he was in 215.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Absolutely. Pants. He always gets. We call him Pants. It's fine. You don't have to know why, but we had. I'm going to tell you anyway.
Pants.
Pants. Yeah, pants.
Because he always wears shorts.
No, it's. I didn't. Okay. We found.
Oh, now you got to tell the story. See.
We found 2 Corys, not 1 but 2. So our bass player was also named Corey. So we decided.
Oh wait, I remember that guy. I think.
Yeah, big bro. He's got this giant beard.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I was like, well, we we were gonna call him Pants just to be stupid, right? And then he goes, he's thinking to himself, well, I'm gonna do the reverse psychology thing and act like I really like it, and then they'll stop calling me that. But then I was like, oh no, he likes it, so we're just going to keep calling him that. But we had 2 Corys, so I always tell Pants, Corey Schmidt, I say, no one wants to be number 2. So his name is Pants. So it'd be hilarious if you remember calling Pants the next time you see him. You'll probably be like, what the fuck?
I'm sure I'll see him before this year is up somewhere. I mean, I don't know how many shows he goes to other than his own, but I mean,
I don't know. I'm sure he'll be out.
Anytime I see him, he's just like, dude, you guys are phenomenal. I'm like, we try. I mean, like we played with them at 1175 not too long ago.
Yeah.
And that show, we had a mishap where our bass player, he had to leave for a family emergency.
Oh.
And then, so we had no bass player that night.
Okay.
So we're like, and this is like last minute, like 3 Left was about to be done and we were about to go on. And we're like, we ain't going to have no bass player. We can't just pull the plug on the show.
Yeah.
So then we do the show. We kind of cut our set a bit, to make up for the loss of a member.
Yeah.
And then we're playing, and then our guitar player, his rig starts cutting out on him, and I'm like, oh crap. So now it's damn near me on guitar singing with my drummer while he's trying to fix his stuff. And so I'm just kind of playing to the, because we opened for Tantric that night.
Yeah.
So we had over 100 people there, and I'm like, we got to still put on a show. I'm like, crap, we're down like damn near 2 members at this point. So I look at my drummer, and we're like, let's just do it. Let's go. So I'm playing, and I'm usually not like nervous about playing guitar and singing on my own.
Yeah.
Because whatever, I do acoustic stuff, but like, it's nice having your band there. So when they're not there, you're like, crap, now
I can't
have
fuck
to do
up.
This, I can't. Yeah, it's the thing. You can't fuck up. You're like, I rely on my lead guitar player.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, now I have to be on my own here. So like, we're playing. I'm trying to be as professional as I can, playing to the crowd, whatever. Then we get done, and like, the audience is just like in like awe, like, wow, like you held this thing together really professionally, just being you and your drummer. And I'm like, well, I had to, like, I'm not just gonna flake out on the show in front of all these people who, a lot of people came to see us despite there being a national act there.
Yeah.
And like, some people were even coming to me like, I feel like your performance was a lot better than the headliners. And I'm like, come on now. Like, you're like, no, you held that together really well. I was like, well, I mean, you got to be professional when you're up there,
Yeah.
And over the years, I like to say that I kind of adapted to that a lot better than when I first started,
Yeah.
So,
You get hours under your belt. You just kind of observe what to do, what not to do. And you get a sense of calm in the chaos. So yeah.
Well, and as you watch like a lot of these bands, you'll see up and coming bands where they're nervous, they're not confident. Like, and we've all been there. I mean, I watched that and I can't like laugh at it because I was exactly that same way starting out.
Absolutely, yeah.
And
absolutely. All
you can do is just give them advice, give them confidence, and because they'll watch you and they're like, wow, I wish I could like be like you guys up there. And I'm just like, it just comes with time.
Yes.
You got to. That's the main thing I would say is go up there and be confident. If you can get up there and get to the first chorus of your song and shake all your nerves out, you're good to go.
You're good to go.
That's what you got to tell yourself.
Yeah.
Just make it to the first chorus.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And you being there with like, we, as a musician that you're trying to, you try to hang with the other bands as much as you can. You like to see them perform, and so if you're up front, still with them, you give them encouragement. They look at you, okay, Wayne's still got my back here, and then,
right.
They see you later in the show and you hold it down. It's like, okay, Wayne's got my back, or, you give them encouragement by just clapping, And
we're typically like, we're one of the last people to really leave a venue. Like we might be there damn near to closing. And even if we're out two hours away, like we shouldn't be out that long until it closes. But usually we find ourselves there still drinking, doing whatever. And we're like, we should probably go. but anyone who's there, if they see a handful of people there after everyone else left, they're like, wow, these guys stuck it out to the end. That's cool.
Yeah.
And like for me, if I'm playing a show, I don't want to just play and leave. Like that's just a dick move, And we've all seen bands do that.
Yeah.
And like to me, like when I see that, when I see a band open a show, like I get you've been there for a while now, and you're getting tired, but like stick around and at least hear a few songs from the next band or something. But if you're just gonna pack up and leave as soon as you're done, like no one's going to want to do shows with you,
Yeah. It's just one of those things. And, if you don't say anything, or if, man, we got this, but we got this going on. I really want to stay, but we got this going on. It's like, oh yeah, I totally understand. But then for what, but yeah, you get that. And you're like, oh, did you see that? These fucking guys that just left, fuck them. There's well, I guess they don't want to get paid then.
And there's sometimes like bands that'll be like, if you play early enough, like a festival or whatever the hell, they might have another show booked later that day.
Yeah.
So that I understand. Like, hey, we got a jet an hour away and doing a show here. I'm like, okay, I understand.
Yep, absolutely.
But if it's just for no reason, you're like, oh,
I just don't want to hang out. Then fuck them.
Like, don't call me, and I won't call you.
That's absolutely yeah. And it's weird because you'll notice that too. Because sometimes you're like, oh yeah, we can duck out of here. They won't even see us. But like they know, you notice. Yeah, right. You've been around. You've done. Who knows how many? Because
some shows, you'll notice that it's only the other bands that are really there watching. So if they vanish and no one's there, you kind of can pick out who left.
Yeah. Those are, but we all play hundreds of those fucking shows. It seems like.
Yeah. I mean, when you get those really good shows where you have a packed crowd, those are the moments you live for.
Yes. Yeah. But nothing, I was talking with Dave Dragus from Outrageous. They played with us at the back bar too that same night that you played. Yeah. I talked to him and we were talking about that. He was saying, he said basically the same thing. And I said, yeah, but those are shows where you don't have to win those people over because they're there to see you. It's the ones that there are 10 people in the crowd and they may have just moseyed in. Those are the ones you got to win over. And sometimes those are more fun because you kind of do whatever the fuck you want, and they're either with you or they're not. Yeah. The back shows, those are the ones that, we can kind of fuck up and they'll go, I mean, they probably won't notice, but you know what I mean? Like they're there for you. Whereas the other ones, you got to win them over. They don't give a fuck about you.
Well, and like some of those people, you'll see them walking in late and you might be at a really good spot in your set. You're like, yeah, this is the time to win them over. They came at the right time. And all of a sudden you see them walking up to the front of the stage like, okay, all right, who are these guys now?
Yep. Let's do this.
And I'm the kind of person that will only like, I don't want to say our band name like after every song because who wants to do that? That's just kind of repetitive.
Yeah.
I'm usually like, we'll start the show. I'll announce who we are like maybe after the second or third song. And then boom, we'll kick it in, do another few songs, play to the crowd a little bit. You just got to you want to keep the music kind of flowing though as you do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I always we've done it starting out where you have a long pause in between songs and you're talking. And I've come to know that you should always keep the music kind of going behind you as you're doing that.
Yeah.
That way no one's just getting, dull with it. Like, And I always hate when I'm talking to the audience and there's nothing going on behind me and you just hear crickets kind of. Like, I want to avoid that at all times possible. So it's just like, so we got to the point where like, let's just build our set to how we want it to play out. Like what song can run into the next song and just keep this music going.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's it.
That's kind of what we do.
You put on you kind of plan a show. Like not, we're playing a show, but you're planning a show where it's got ebbs and flows and it goes in, this one goes into that and kind of stuff like that. Yeah. That's a perfect way to keep people engaged. And then you avoid, the dead air,
Well, it's more professional that way too. I mean, cause like I said, back to like the starting bands, they don't really understand that or grasp that yet. They're just like, hey, we want our music to be heard. Yeah. So they'll play a song. Hey, how you doing? And then, long pause. Okay, this next song we're going to do.
Yeah.
And you're like, just get into it, man. Come on.
Yeah. And you don't want to be the guy who yells at them to do that, but you're in your head, you're like, come on. And then they go into it.
You're sitting there like, roll the tape.
Yeah. Right. Come on, buddy.
Like you only got a half-hour set. You just killed 20 minutes right there.
Yeah. Right. Just.
Yeah. And like things like that, when you like, we don't play a lot of shows like that where you get a half-hour set, but if you're opening for a bigger band, most of the time they'll only give it 30 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So it's like now you have to really minimize your talking space.
Yeah.
You're like, now, like you only got 6 or 7 songs to play. So it's like, shit, let's kick our show off heavy. Let's put a little dip in the middle where it dies down and then boom, kick it back into gear. And that's basically it.
Yeah.
I might say something to the crowd while another song is starting, just to keep it going, you know?
Yep.
And you kind of got to do that at that point, because with a half an hour, dude, a half an hour goes by like that.
Yeah, that's nothing. Yeah,
like,
you
dude,
get 6
I feel
songs.
like we just set
tops.
up, you know?
Yeah, right. Yeah, you spend you know, you get 15 minutes on and off, so you spend that time on and off as well as your set. So it's like, yeah, you got to blaze it.
You got to get up there and own it, you know? So if you make a really killer set for a half an hour and you go, dude, this is it. This is the one that's going to get them. Like, then you know you got something good.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And it works. And then it works. And you're just like.
Yeah, and then next it works and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, and then you go out the next night and it's fucking crickets and you're like, fuck.
Yeah. The same damn people are here. They already heard it.
Yeah, right now they're done with this. How long?
If you get those people that show up like to all your shows, you're like, you know, you might get a few people that are energetic at every show because they love your music.
Yeah.
But you might get those people that'll show up to the next show and be like, oh, I already know their set. It's like, well, then why did you bother to show up if you knew you were going to see the same thing? Like, it's supposed to be a secret. Come on. Now you ruined it.
That's difficult. Yeah, if you have shows like close enough where people will, you know, the same people will show up. Obviously, it's cool that they show up because a lot of times, as you know, they'll show up to one and they're like, oh, I saw him last night. I saw him last week. I'll catch him the next time. And then you don't see him for another 2 years. But yeah, if you try to maybe, you know, like we would like start the set off the same way, but then, you know, we would change shit, you know, the next night.
Because you got to keep it entertaining. Because if you do get those same people, you want them to be like, oh, he's going to play. Oh, he's doing something different.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Oh, a new song. Oh, wow, all right.
Y'all didn't play this last night. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I got you, bitch. I seen you yesterday.
You thought you had me figured out. Well, fuck y'all.
I only threw that new song in because I seen you in the crowd.
Yeah. Called it on the fly. Yeah, I you know, like I said, I was talking to Dave a couple weeks ago or whatever, and he said that they don't make a set list. They just go on the fly, which I always wanted to get to that, and I just never had the opportunity to get there, but that seems like it would be super cool. But yeah, he just calls it on the fly.
That's cool and all, but like, I'm always the kind of guy that thinks, you know, if we're a few beers in and we're like, oh, and then someone starts playing a song, and you're like, dude, we just played that 4 songs. They go, what are you doing? What are you doing?
So it's your safety check.
That's something I feel like one of my guys would do. Like, no, let's not. They just heard that tonight. Come on. This isn't rehearsal. We're not going back to the same song.
Hey, I will tell you too, I'm not as professional as Dave is. So
I mean, he might have his wits together to where he can pull that off. Hey, we got an hour set. Let's just wing it. I'd be like, oh shit.
No, we need a napkin. We need something. But somebody we need blood to write with.
every show, I make sure we have some sort of set list together. And it's like, all right, print this off.
Yeah.
Print off 4 of them, whatever. Hand them out to each guy so they got it in front of them. Yep. Like, I'm not playing around when it comes to, hey, what song is next?
Yep. Yeah, I would do it. I would always, that was kind of my job is to, we would put the set list all together as kind of a group, and then I'd be the one that printed them out. And like, we did that thing called the freestyle funk where we do a bunch of like old school hip hop and do that whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
I would always,
that was cool. I like the mashup that you guys were doing.
I appreciate that.
That was pretty cool.
But that would go on the set list too. Like at the bottom, I'd put, okay, it's this song, then this song, then this song, just so it's, that's a lot of shit to remember. So you can quick, oh yeah, that's what we're doing. That's how that goes, but yeah, the set list is
occasionally if we get offered like, oh, we want you to play like an hour and a half or 2 hours, I'm like, oh shit. Like, we did an acoustic show at Route 20 and they're like, yeah, you guys got like 2.5 hours. I'm like, what the hell? Oh. And I'm like, how am I even vocally going to get through this for 2.5 hours?
Yeah. Yeah, that's
after like an hour set, I'm like, dude, I'm dead as hell.
Yeah. Well, you have to prepare for that, really. I mean, yeah, an hour set, you can kind of crank through that. An hour and 15, okay, that's not
Yeah.
that much more. But yeah, once you start getting an hour and a half, 2 hours, it's like
you
you have to prepare for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like there'll be nights when you do long sets like that and it ends and you're sweaty as hell and you just look up in the lights and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
Like, and everyone's looking at you like, damn, dude, like he must have just sang his heart out. And I'm like, dude, I'm about to die. Give me a break.
I did. I need to stand outside and I need to pass out now.
Well, yeah. And that's the thing. Like you'll be playing a show on like a really cold night.
Oh yeah.
And we've all had this where you're hot as shit on stage and you go outside and just like your tank top, whatever the hell it is you're wearing. And everyone's like, dang, aren't you freezing? And you're like, dude, I'm sweating balls right now. Like you don't even know what I just went through.
Yeah, that first show that we came back that we played at Hijinks, it was like 15 degrees out, and we had to take all the stuff because their back door didn't work. Remember that? So we had to take it all out the front. And I remember my shirt freezing because it was, where
that's crazy. You're just like, hey, it's kind of nice though.
Yeah, until it's like, oh, it's freezing on my nipples.
Yeah. Once it hits the nipples,
it's
over.
Got
a problem.
It's over. We got problems. Yeah, I mean, I'm a fat dude, so I sweat peeling a fucking orange. So it's like going outside and then feeling that, but then it's like, okay, my shirt really it's starting to stiffen up here. I got to go back inside.
Yeah. When you're drenched and you go out in the freezing cold, you know your shit's gonna freeze. Like,
yeah. You're like, okay, I feel I'm gonna have about 10 minutes before I start getting cold here. So then I need to hurry up.
Right. And I'm the kind of guy that, like in all my, you see in all my photos and everything, I'm usually wearing like a vest or just a cutoff or whatever.
Yeah.
That's just what I do,
Yeah.
So like if it is cold outside and I'm out there, even if we're loading in, like I'll have my jacket off and I'm standing out there and I'm freezing waiting to get in and I'm just like, come on, let's get the shit in here. But then you get out and you're like, wow, it's fucking nice now.
Yeah. Yeah. Until you peel your vest off and it's like starting to crackle because it's freezing.
Or then you wind up standing out there too long talking to people.
Yeah.
And the sweat is worn off and now you're starting to get cold again. Yep. You're sitting there like, all right, I'm going to go inside, get the rest of the show now.
Check the band. See you back in there.
Yeah. Like, aren't you cold? Yeah. Why am I sitting here talking to you this long a period of time?
No, I ain't cold.
Because you won't shut up.
Yeah, right. I ain't cold. Have another cigarette. Fuck, I don't care. Fuck.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the chain smoking people. They're like, oh, I'm going go outside for another cigarette. You want to come? I don't smoke.
No, I don't.
So I'm just gonna stay inside.
Yeah.
Just I'm having a drink. Do that.
I'm just gonna hang out in here. I'm good. You go. You do you. I'll see you in a bit.
Yeah, I'll be here. I might have 3 more drinks by the time you get back.
Yeah, I used to be those people. I quit smoking a couple years back, but yeah.
Well, more power to you, man. Can you breathe better?
Yeah. I need all the help I can fucking get. Like a run.
I suppose when you're like a bigger dude and you're puff give, it's got to be 10 times harder just to.
Yeah, obviously I'm a cardio machine. The fat guy will be, but it's like, yeah, it was always. I always felt once I quit smoking, I was just like, yeah, this is better. I liked smoking because it was nice, but like, I can smell things correctly and I can taste things, and oh look, I can breathe. So not a bad trade-off.
Well, and the biggest thing for like a lot of people, they're like, you want your clothes to smell like that, like everything just smells. Yeah. Like you just were smoking like a chimney. I mean,
Yeah, my wife still smokes, and it's fine. Whatever. It is. She's an adult. If she wants to quit, she'll quit. Whatever. But yeah, every once in a while, we'll be sitting down, and she'll have a cigarette, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, that one stinks. Sometimes they just, they don't smell great. But like some of those, they just smell fucking terrible. And I was just like, hey, Jesus Christ. She's like, yeah, even I can smell that one. Or if we go
then you get into like people who just want to vape, and they're all flavoricious, And like I just went out and bought a new vape actually, because I'm like, I don't smoke cigarettes, but I'm like, vaping would be nice to kind of take the edge off of long weeks and just stress and all that shit. So it's like And I always like smelling the flavor. So I'm like, that's really nice. Like, what you got over there?
Hey, it smells good.
And then with my guys, if you take a break at rehearsal, you go outside, 2 of them are smoking a cigarette, another one's smoking a non-filter, and you're just like, I ain't got nothing. What the hell?
You're getting roped in, Wayne. You're getting roped in.
Lung power. You need to sing. I'm like, but at the same time, like I look at singers like Sean Morgan from Seether and bands like Aaron Lewis from Stained. They're all heavy smokers, and like they still have an amazing vocal range and all sorts of stuff. And I'm like, is it just the smoking that does that for you, or is it like a hit or miss? Like, no pun intended,
I don't know. I would just pay close attention to it, and just from being from the outside looking in, I try not to go too heavy with it, because I'm assuming that there's some shit with vaping that's probably not fucking great for you either.
Oh yeah, so, I mean, that's with any kind of smoking, really. Yeah. But like, I always look at it as, I'm not heavy on smoking. For one, I want to still hold my notes out, and like, we have songs where I'm holding a note for damn near like 10 seconds, and I'm like, okay, is that the end of the song? All right, cool. And like I don't know if you've heard our EP. We have a song called "Would I Lie."
Okay. I think I have heard it. I can't think of it right off the top of my head. Sorry.
It's kind of like starts off like Godsmack kind of sound, like dun 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 dun.
Okay. Oh yeah, yeah.
So it starts off heavy.
Yeah.
So like the end of the song, I'm holding this long note at the end, and like my bass player suggested that for me as we were kind of fiddling with the song. He's like, "Oh, what if you like held that note at the end?" And I'm like all the way to the end. I'm like, huh. All right. So like I did it, and then we went and recorded it, and I did it the same. And now I'm like, now I have to do that live every single time because people are going to be expecting that. So I'm every time live, here I am holding this note out, and I'm like crouched down on the ground, just trying to compress my lungs to give it everything I got. And at the end of the song, you just see me whip my head up every time, like gasping for air. And everyone's like, yeah, and you want that to be a big ending for the song. So I'm like, I can't just wuss out now.
No. Yeah, well, yeah, and it's one thing to do it at rehearsal and then recording. So, okay, you can do it, but then now you got adrenaline and you're sweating and you just sang 10 songs before that, and now you got to hit this fucking note. So
that's how it goes. And you just have to find it. You have to find it in you somehow. Like when you're performing live, you find this inner you that you've never really seen before. Like every time you do a show, like you know who it is when it comes back to you at that show. But outside of that, you don't see that in you at all. You're not that kind of person. Like people would say to me, dude, you're completely different outside of seeing you on stage. And I'm like, well, I got to act out my part. I got to be the showman. I got to be the front man.
Yeah.
And they're like, because when I'm talking to you outside of that, it's like, you're just like, just down to earth guy and everything else. When you're up there, you're in the zone. Like you're locking eyes with people and just, And I'm like, I got to play to the crowd. That's what you got to be. Yeah. That's called entertainment in our world,
Yeah. I'm a big pro wrestling fan. So like
so am I.
Oh, there we go. Okay. But yeah, like they say, the biggest characters, the best, in the history, they're just themselves turned up to 11. It's the same. Yeah. It's the same way as any performer. You do.
So are you like a WWE fan or AEW fan or like?
I haven't. I got kind of burnt out, so I haven't watched a ton. Probably within the last about year, but I was watching WWE and NXT. I really enjoy NXT a lot, and then I was watching New Japan, and then I was watching Lucha Underground when it was on, and I went for a while where I was watching fucking everything, and then I kind of burnt myself out. So like I've watched like the early AEW pay-per-views, and those are those were really good.
Right.
I think they actually have one tonight. Do they not? Yeah, that's tonight. It's Full Gear. I think is tonight.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure.
I know. For WWE, I know Survivor Series is coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And they're actually going to have the farewell for the Undertaker's 30 years at Survivor Series, because 30 years ago at Survivor Series where he debuted.
Yep.
So it's fitting that they're going to have his farewell at this Survivor Series.
Yeah, I wonder, is he getting in? I wonder what they're going to do, because Kelly, my wife Kelly, she said that to me last night, and I was like, is he? Because he retired. So I don't know if he's getting in a ring, or do we have any idea?
It's probably just going to be a here I am, whatever kind of thing. I'm sure they'll do the whole thing where they'll have somebody come out to the ring and try to prove like there's somebody. He'll just choke slam them or tombstone them, whatever the hell he's going to do.
Yeah.
Just to give him his last big prop. I'm sure they're planning out some cool storyline. I hope.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe roll.
Because when you're gonna leave after 30 years, that's a long time to just leave with nothing huge. You gotta end it strong.
Yeah, I would say so for sure. Yeah, it's been obviously it's impressive for the guy to have not only have 30 years, but he was a wrestler before he was the Undertaker, but have one character that's been at that level for that long. Like, I mean, he was a main eventer within the first year,
There's people that have like seen him out in public, and for the longest time they're like, he still acts as the Undertaker.
Yeah.
He still has that persona. He still puts that on. Like, yeah, he'll do his meet and greets and everything else, but like he'll still be the Undertaker,
Yeah.
And like just recently, I don't know if you have like the WWE Network at all or anything.
I have the free one now. Just I poke on there every now and again, but I had it.
Okay.
I had it. Yeah.
But I got it when it first came out. I'm like, $10 a month. Screw it, whatever. And I love it though, man. Like, you can go back and watch any pay-per-view. They have all these cool documentaries and originals on there.
Yeah.
But they just recently had put it's called The Last Ride for the Undertaker. They did a big documentary for him on there.
Okay.
And I watched every episode of it, and dude, it's phenomenal. Like, if you're looking for something good to watch for wrestling wise, like that documentary, like you got to watch that.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay. Yeah, I saw little bits and pieces of it.
It gets really like in depth, like his story, and like for him to sit down and talk about his life, I'm like, that's really cool.
Yeah. No, that's rad. Yeah, it's super impressive. And then to be able to how that guy's still fucking walking. I mean, really,
Well, you see how he walks though. He's got that like, hey, I don't want to walk kind of thing. But he actually just had, not too long ago, I know he had like a hip replacement. I don't know if he had both of them, but I know at least one of them he did.
Yeah.
So like he was pretty banged up, man. He's probably broken damn near every bone in his body throughout his 30 years.
Yeah, he that was shit. When was that? Was that before? It was definitely before this last WrestleMania. It might have been right before 35. I don't remember, but he didn't wrestle at 35 though. I don't think, did he? Like, there was a year that he didn't. I can't.
I forget which one we're even on. Together. Honestly,
yeah. They're coming up to 37 here soon. But
okay, yeah, because I just watched 36 when they had it, and it was really tough to watch when
It's weird.
It's just a virtual audience.
Yeah, it was weird. There was nobody.
They didn't even have the virtual audience.
No, they were just in the Performance Center.
Yeah, now they're in the Thunderdome with the virtual thing. But yeah, so during that WrestleMania, they pretty much did a lot of like theatrical like cuts. Yeah. Like Undertaker's match with AJ Styles, it was all pre-recorded out like in a graveyard.
That was
whatever
cool.
The hell it was.
I thought that was really
or boneyard match. That's what it was called.
I thought, I know you running into it. And you're like, what the fuck is a boneyard match? Well, we found out. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, they really did that really well.
Yeah.
So for that to be his, so to speak, last match, it was nice that they had him come in as like the dead man, but also the badass on his motorcycle. And
yeah.
I was like, dude, like he even said in his documentary, he's like, yeah, I kind of wanted to, put all of my personalities into one. So there's Mark Calloway, here's The Undertaker, and here's the American Badass. And you're like, okay, cool. Like seeing all that, you could see all the elements throughout the match.
Yeah, and then to do that against AJ Styles, who's more perfect for that You know, because AJ can do everything you'd want to do, and he's going to make him whatever he's doing. He's going to make it look fucking awesome. So,
the phenomenal one,
absolutely, absolutely for sure. Yeah, that was a neat thing when he came in.
It's always cool having other people to talk with about wrestling because, like, I don't really seem to find that many people I can bond with that as much. Like, you know, you have people that are like, yeah, you know, I'll watch it here and there, but like for us to sit here and be able to describe what we're talking about and know what we're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, my buddy, he watched, you know, in the Attitude Era, we would actually, I was in a band with him, and instead of practicing, we would watch Raw. So then, like, you know, we watched all that stuff and then got away from it, and then I got back into it, and then I was like, oh yeah, this has happened. And he's like, oh, I don't care, right? And then he got the network and he started watching the old stuff, and then he got really into it. So now he's going back through, and he's like, oh yeah, this and that and this and that. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is what happened. And he's like, how the fuck do you know that? I said, it's useless information. I fucking know it. I was like, oh yeah, that was this event at blah, blah, blah. And he's like, where the fuck did that come from? I don't know. It's just in there.
Yeah. They're like, when I really, I mean, I've been watching wrestling for probably almost 20 years now. So as a kid, I really got into it like around 2001, 2002.
Okay.
So like that was like the perfect spot to get into it because the Attitude Era. Yeah,
it was like towards the tail end, but it was still rocking. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like the Bischoff era when he came in as manager, and
sure,
that whole scene was great. Like I really wish they could write how they used to back then.
Yeah, well, different world. You watch some of that stuff now. You know, that's like, let's say you watch a Raw from 1998 or 1999, and the stuff they do, you're like, oh, geez, I don't think they could do that today. There's a lot of stuff that's questionable.
And if you go back like on the network and you watch all the old pay-per-views and you see all the blood and the gore and just that's what made everything awesome. Like, dude, these guys are whooping each other's ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like now they really have to go. I mean, everything was always scripted, but they would sometimes go off script just to really make it look real, you know? But now you're just like, come on, you didn't even punch that guy. Yeah. Like,
sometimes.
What was that?
Yeah, sometimes the stuff you can really see through, and it's like, I remember I got years on you, so I started watching wrestling in the early 90s. So like WCW would have a show. It was like an hour long on Saturday mornings. And then every once in a while, WWE, there would be Saturday night's main event. And I never knew, you know, I was young, so I never knew it when it was on. I would just turn the TV on, and if it was on, I would watch it kind of thing. But like WCW, I knew when it was going to be on. So like I was a fan, you know, when like one of the better, like the Four Horsemen was still a big deal with Arn Anderson and all that kind of stuff, and like Larry Zbyszko was
Dean Malenko.
You know, that was earlier. That was that you're talking about. That was a little bit later yet, but yeah, like when the Four Horsemen was like Flair, Arn Anderson, Larry Zbyszko, and then like they would have like Mondo McMichael or Barry Windham was in it, you know. Some of these, so that's like when so
that was definitely a little before my time, because those couple names I mean, everyone's gonna know Ric Flair and all that.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, there's obviously a ton of names, you know, that have gone through, but like I would rent like the WrestleMania, like all the pay-per-views that would come out on VHS. I would rent them. So like I remember watching WrestleMania 4. It wasn't when it wasn't the year that it happened, but like I watched it. I watched all those, you know, and you know,
and with the network you can go back and watch them.
Yeah, and I watched. I mean, this was probably about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. I went back and watched WrestleMania 4, and I'm like, yeah, I still love this because I was a giant Macho Man fan, and that's when they had the tournament.
Oh yeah,
the cream of the crop, yeah, and. They had the big tournament to crown the new champion, and that was WrestleMania 4. So I was a giant Macho Man fan, you know. So that was one of my favorite things, and I watched it. I was like, "Yep, still love it." Still love WrestleMania 4. It's fucking awesome.
I remember seeing it. I remember seeing his commercials with the snack into a Slim Jim.
Oh yeah.
Snack into a Slim Jim. Ooh yeah. And you're just like, really, really, Macho Man.
Hey, he got cut
Are
from
you
that.
are you hurting? Are you hurting for money? What's going on here?
Yeah, that was like when wrestling started to become mainstream. You know, they did like the rock and wrestling connection, they used to call that, back when the WrestleMania started. And you know, Hulkamania was running wild on you, brother, you know, then, and all that.
He's always running wild. He's still running wild to this day.
But that was when he could do no wrong. He was in movies. He was on TV shows. Yeah. So there, it's, yeah, that's where I come from. And then
if only the Hulkster can do some movies nowadays. Cause when you look at those ones, those are like back in the 80s, he was doing those.
Yeah. He had
like,
there was a couple.
Wasn't he in like one of the Three Ninjas movies or something like that? I think it was.
I don't know, actually. I'm not sure.
Do you know that series though?
I think I probably saw the first one when I was a kid, but after that I have no clue.
Yeah, me and my brother grew up on that stuff, and they're kind of corny, but like it's just fun to watch, you know?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, he was in this movie called No Holds Barred, and it was fucking terrible, but it was still Hulk Hogan. And, you know, and then he was in Rocky 2. He was either Rocky 2 or Rocky 3.
He was in one of those.
Yeah, he was in that, and then he was in some. They had the cartoon that was before your time, but they had a Hulk Hogan cartoon and all that stuff. So
sounds like a lot of those cartoons for people like that were way before my time.
Yeah.
I wish they would still kind of do stuff like that, but you know,
yeah, no,
I don't think anyone's as creative anymore, which is sad.
It sure doesn't.
The writers people get nowadays, I'm like, come on, man. And now people, like, you watch these new movies that come out in theaters, and it's just the same old repetition of movies.
Yeah.
Like, let's remake this 1,000 times. Like, no one wants to see that anymore. Like, so why don't you write something off of that and like give me a new story, you know?
Yeah.
Or like how people start doing prequels of things. Like, that's kind of cool, but like when they start doing too many of those, you're like, come on. Was there really a pre-story to this movie? Was there really?
Was it really?
Or did you make that up?
Yeah, right. You're not getting anything past me. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting scripts that could probably be written off books. I mean, I'm not a huge reader, you know. But there's a series of
I should be, but I'm not.
I know. I feel like such an uncultured swine every time. Because my wife reads 3 books a week, 3 books a week. She always reads them on her phone or on her tablet, and she's got like 800 books, and she just mows through them. But like
for some reason, it seems funner to do that on a tablet or something than just opening an ordinary book.
Yeah,
I don't know why. Maybe it's because we're all glued to our new technology. It just seems easier that way.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would probably do books on tape, you know, because I'm not only do I do podcasts, but I'm a fan. Like I was a fan of podcasts before I started doing this. So I have like 12 podcasts that I listen to, you know, so I have a long drive to work. I have a long drive home. So that's what I do. I listen to podcasts. I very rarely actually listen to music.
It kind of helps you like advance to your own show, you know, like what are these guys doing in their shows that maybe I should do, or, you know, how can I switch it up so I'm not doing the same old thing or whatever, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I like to do it. I like to listen to it. If I listened to podcasts probably like 5 years before I actually did it, and I've had the idea to do a podcast for like a year and a half before I pulled the trigger. And then I just, you know, me, Josh, and Eric were going to do one. Then what happened. And then I sat on it for a year, and then I did my buddy's podcast, and then I sat on it for another couple months. And then eventually I was just like, you know what? I'm going to set the mic up. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do.
You can say it was like a year and a half in the making.
Yeah, it really was. It really was. It was the I'm a fan of podcasts, and then I think I might be able to do it, and it's fun. I mean, you know, I'm not the most interesting dude. I try to find different angles. You know, no one knows who I am. which is fine because, it is what it is.
Hey, you're here making a name for yourself right now. And
I'm trying.
That's what's the beauty of it.
You're
putting other artists on here, people more known obviously than I am.
Well,
I'm sure, hopefully, maybe one day at least.
Yeah. I want to try to stay involved in music one way or another. Music has been, I've been playing music since I was 12 years old, So like I've been in and out of bands.
It's in your blood,
Yeah. So I just want, if I can't be out playing shows, I don't have a band right now, but we're working on shit, whatever. But like, I just want to be involved.
Oh, there's something in the works you're telling me?
Yeah. Yeah. Me and Eric I've been demoing music for the last forever. Since we lost Josh, it was waited a couple months, and I've been demoing songs since. So I probably have like 20 or 25 demos. And then,
so like when you say demoing, do you write lyrics to like guitar riffs that you're doing, or like how do you?
I don't.
How is your writing?
I don't write. No one wants to hear me sing, and I definitely don't want to listen to a melody that I came up with. So writing music.
That sounds like this.
I don't know. Everybody,
like that sounds great. Let's throw it in the garbage.
Yeah, that's what I do to myself. So yeah, my wife's like, "No, you sing fine." I said, "No, I don't." So I don't. But I write music. When I write a song, I write the guitar, I write the bass, I don't keep, when I go to a bass player, I'm like, you got to play it like me. It's not like that. To get the full picture, I put everything in, the drums, the whole deal. Right. So then I send it off to Eric, who is the drummer of 215. Well, he's singing. So
yeah, he's got a really good voice.
Yeah.
When I would hear like the backing vocals over Josh, I'm like, that guy's really good.
Yeah. 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 And I'm like, when we're like, we got to do something. Right. So I was like, okay, you're singing. He's like, well, we'll figure it out, and if I don't, if it doesn't work out, I'll go back to drums. I said, no, you're singing. Cause I didn't want him to give him that out. You know what I mean? So I was like, no, you're going to sing. So I send him over to him. He takes his time coming up with lyrics and melodies and stuff like that. But we probably recorded demos like full with singing and all that stuff. I don't know, 6-8 songs maybe. So we're taking our time.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, we would have probably gotten going earlier if 2020 didn't happen.
Oh yeah.
So trying to
we probably would have had our EP done and had our release show.
Yeah.
Damn near by now if it wasn't for all what happened, but.
It is what it is. It is what it is. So yeah, we're slowly putting the band together. We need to find a drummer, which kind of seems to be the thing, But yeah, we're slowly putting something together. So it's like, So he's like strictly the singer for this then? Yeah. He's gonna sing it. So.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Is there like a name at all for this?
No,
project,
we haven't gotten.
Just kind of.
We've got a list of names, one of those, and we look to make sure that they're not taken. But it's, we haven't come up on anything yet, so there isn't any breaking news here or anything like that. But we
heard it here, folks.
Yeah, right there it is. Listen to Wayne.
But I'm sure you've mentioned this in like other podcasts. I can't be the only one, right?
No. I had Eric and Corey Schmidt Pants on. I don't
Schmidt
know.
Pants.
Schmidt Pants.
Not shit pants. Schmidt Pants.
Thank you for clarifying. Appreciate it. Yeah, we talked about it, but yeah, it's just been a slow go. We're taking our time. Yeah. So that's we're weeding through a bunch of songs. As much as there's songs that I like, sometimes the other ones don't like them, and they're probably right. You know how it goes.
Well, and everyone's gonna have, like every song you write isn't gonna be fantastic. We all know that. Like, as musicians, you start writing a song, and you might not even finish a song just because you're like, you know what, this it ain't working.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then other times, like I mentioned about Bottle of the Truth, like you're grooving on something that just came to mind. Usually for me, songs that just pop in my head like that, those are the ones I want to try and work out and finish.
Yeah.
If it's something I'm fighting to write, then I don't want to finish it.
Yeah.
Because it's a struggle then. Because now you're performing something, you're like, you know what, I had to fight to finish this song, and I want it to be smooth and just organic, not just here it is. I whipped this together for you.
It's weird how that works, where there's some like Bottle of the Truth, which kind of, it probably felt like it only took you 10 minutes to write. I'm probably generalizing, but you know what I mean? And then there's other ones where like, geez, this just isn't working. And then you put it away for like 2 months and then you come back to it and then it works. It's like, it's weird how
there's actually the last song we're going to go record this month. It's a song called Demons. And, we spent a little while on this song. Like we'd throw it away, come back to it. And we're like, it just wasn't working. And then we got a new drummer and we started working it out again with him. And, we're like, you know what, maybe we have a chance at making this something.
Okay.
And now we're like, let's go record it and see how it goes.
Yeah.
Cause I mean, it's definitely evolved from when we first started with it. So
cool.
I'm hoping like everyone really likes it. And if we end up doing a video for it, cool, but we'll see. I mean, I kind of like dabbing into the whole video thing now. Like we've only done No More Religion and obviously Bottle of Truth so far, and we're going to put out Butterflies. But like the more we kind of do it, the more I'm like, I really like this visual aspect of things for people. Because you can sit there and listen to a song, whatever, but like people really like watching something and visualizing and being a part of it. So
yeah, I agree. Do you have a lot of influence in the videos? Like, do you come up with what do they call them, treatments? Look at me, I'm sounding professional. Or is it just, do you have somebody that you work with that comes up with that? How does that work? We've done a couple of videos, but Josh was like, yeah, do this, do that, do this. So he came up with it. I'm not sure how that works.
For Bottle, we actually shot that whole video in our rehearsal spot.
Okay.
It might not look like it, but with like, you see the black walls, we put like the blanket stuff because we wanted to portray that we're in a bottle. So
okay.
Speak,
Yeah.
And the whole concept of the song, which I'm sure you kind of gathered by listening to it, is it's basically about, not holding back on things you've been wanting to say, whether it be your relationship or your friendship or just relatives or whoever. Like people always tend to bottle things up, and that's not good for us, you know, like, and we all know that, like, then you lash out at people because you've held this in for too long. And that's pretty much what the song is about. We're in a bottle basically performing. And then as you see throughout the video, we're jotting down different things. Yeah. And I don't know if you noticed within the video behind us on the wall in the bottle, we have the note cards of the notes that we wrote. Mm-hmm, and like, so basically we're putting them in the bottle while we're in the bottle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's things that you've been wanting to say, but you never really got the chance to say, kind of thing. But like, I kind of came up with the concept of, hey, I want to kind of put us in a bottle, so to speak. How do we do that? Because you can't just, what are you going to do? Make an actual bottle big enough to put everybody in it? No.
Yeah.
You got to kind of start thinking, how can we portray this in a video?
Yeah.
To kind of at least tell a story without people going, wow, that looks phony as shit. Thankfully we haven't had those comments of, wow, what the hell? Like,
no,
why?
I thought it was, especially now that you even explain the simplicity, not shit, that's not a bad thing. Saying just the simplicity of where it came from and how you did it. You guys did a great job. I really do think so. I'm not just giving you lip service. I think it's,
and we actually, we brainstormed all together on everything we wanted to do with it. And then between like all of us, we kind of shot pieces of the video together. And then our drummer actually edited the whole video together himself.
Oh, awesome.
So
awesome. Yeah, he did a great job.
Actually, with this next video, we've had a couple people kind of helping us out. We've actually had more of a director approach, him kind of guiding us on things, giving us ideas. And I'm like, you know what? I really like that. Like, this guy's got really good ideas.
Yeah.
Let's bring him in. Let's have him help us write this story out,
That's awesome.
Because with four minds is good, but when you got an outsider to help hey, I'm not in the band, but I think this idea would be really cool.
Yeah.
And you're like, you know what? Let's run with it. So a lot of things we got going on in this video is going to be pretty cool leading up to how the story plays out.
Awesome.
So.
No, that sounds awesome. Well, now that we're getting close here to the end, I'm going to switch the screen here. And, I got some surprise face, Wayne.
It's me.
As we said throughout it, Wayne's from Saint Tragedy. You can visit sainttragedy.com. At Saint Tragedy Music will be the, you go on the social medias. Is there anything else you want to plug, or anything else? Final thoughts here at all before we sign off?
I'd say, obviously, on sainttragedy.com, you can find all of our music on there. You can find our music on any streaming outlet that you use, Apple Music, Google Play, Spotify, wherever. And yeah, hopefully after this whole 2020 deal, we'll get back out, do some more shows, and we'll see you out there.
No more religion, no more lies.
Okay, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the conversation that I had with Wayne as much as I did. Make sure to follow Saint Tragedy. Look them up all over the interwebs. Watch their music videos. They're very, very good. Please follow me online, Facebook, Instagram, and Parler at The Johnny Ruckus. Follow the show on Facebook and Instagram at Podcasts on My Monitor. Like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. I would really appreciate it. It helps a lot. Go buy a t-shirt. teespring.com/stores/The Johnny Ruck Tees. All right, that's it. Be better today than you were yesterday. Bye now.